So I need to hit record. Red button, right?
What's that?
Red button, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good. Go for it.
Alright, this is Sky Dog. I'm with punktv.ca. Here talking to Brock, vocalist for 36 Crazyfists. We're at Peabody's up in Cleveland, Ohio, man. How you doing today?
Wonderful. Thanks.
That's awesome, man. And you guys are on the tour, Bound by the Road tour, man. When did the tour actually start, and how's it been going so far?
The tour started on the 27th of February, and it's going excellent. Yeah, we've been out for a little over a month, I guess, now, and a couple weeks left, and been having a blast. It's been real fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Any crazy shit happened, while you guys been on tour so far?
Nothing out of the norm, the occasional everyday hangover, and nothing too different than any other night. I don't think. I can't think of one thing that. Well, I guess the third day of the tour, we caught on fire.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, our RV caught on fire. So that was a little bit of a not an everyday thing for me. So
what happened with that?
We've been touring in this damn RV since '99, basically, and it just finally decided to die on us in the hills when we were almost in LA. So it just overheated and then blew up the engine, caught on fire. I think it was more of like a grease fire than anything. But anyway, it was pretty exciting for a minute. I'd never used a fire extinguisher before, but I learned pretty quick how to figure it out. So anyway, that was probably the most exciting thing that's happened to it, I guess.
All right, well, glad nobody got hurt.
Yeah, me as well.
Now, yeah, you guys have toured with, in the past, with bands like System of a Down, Chimera, Killswitch Engage. How do you guys feel about this tour right here with Devil Driver, Walls of Jericho, Napalm Death?
We feel wonderful about it. Yeah, we're good friends with the Devil Driver guys. I've played shows with them in Germany, so when we knew we were going to come back out with these guys, we were real excited about it. The tour's been excellent. Walls of Jericho actually isn't on the tour.
Oh.
They never started, but a band called Straight Line Stitch from Knoxville, Tennessee is on it. Great band, great people over there. And so yeah, Napalm Death, I mean, it's pretty amazing just to be on the same bill as those legends. So, it's been great, and we're real excited about the upcoming year. Our record comes out in a month or so, and it's a big, busy year for us. So it's a good start to a real good American tour for us, to start the record cycle on. So yeah, we couldn't be more thankful.
That's awesome, man. Now, this tour is actually going to end for you guys April 18th?
Yes.
All right, and then May 2nd, you actually have a show up in Alaska.
Yes.
You guys are originally from there, right?
Yeah, born and raised.
All right, yeah, what's going on with there? Because I know you guys do like a festival, like every year you guys want to hit it.
Right, yeah, this will be the first year that we won't be able to do it because we're doing the Mayhem Festival this summer, but that's the reason why we're going back in May to we usually get about one show a year back home, and it's a pretty big deal for us and all our friends back there, so we definitely don't ever miss playing at least once a year. So that's the reason that we're playing in May instead of the summer, just because the summer's going to be a little bit too busy for us to get back there, but looking forward to the homecoming show for sure.
Well, that's cool, man. You guys never forgot where you came from.
Well, no, it's pretty impossible to forget that.
Yeah, now, what I wanted to ask you also as well is you guys are on tour promoting your upcoming album, okay? The Tie of the Stake. Can you tell me a little about that album, like when it's going to be released?
May 27th.
May 27th.
Through Ferret Music, it comes out, and yeah, it's just another batch of songs from the Alaskans. I can't really think one defining word to talk about the record really, but I think it's another good batch of songs, that's for us. I think it's pretty much it's a good description of where the band is today. I think almost 15 years now, so it's something I'm pretty proud of. I'm real grateful that it's almost out and it's completely done being recorded and worked on.
Right.
I'm happy about that. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Now, Brock, what's the writing process like for 36 Crazyfists?
Guitar player and drummer Thomas and Steve, they write all the music, and they usually get at least a good foundation of the song structured before I and my bass player Mick comes into the fold, I guess. But everybody kind of has their role. I do all the lyrics, and this time around it was a little different because I live in Alaska and the boys are still in Portland, Oregon, so they wrote all the music and then would email me the files.
Oh, yeah?
I would listen to them on my computer, write to them, go to my buddy's studio in town in Anchorage, do the demo vocals, send it back through the email, which is definitely something we've never done. And then, so we got the rough ideas together, and then when it was time to record in early December, I flew down to Portland and we recorded in December into early January.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
It's technology, I guess.
Now, this album is actually going to be your first album released on Ferret Music, okay? Can you give me a little bit of idea, can you give us a little bit of idea what happened between you guys and Roadrunner for you guys to leave?
You know, over the years, I think we just kind of got lost in the shuffle over there, you know. It's a business, and I'm more understanding of it now as I'm older.
Right.
You know, when you don't sell X amount of records on certain places, you aren't going to get the priority that maybe some of these bands like myself, I think, the help that we needed. So I think that Roadrunner just kind of was done breaking bands,
Right.
you know, which is unfortunate, but they made my dreams come true, you know, initially in '99 when they signed us, so I would never badmouth them. I just think that a lot of people at the label didn't have the same belief as maybe a couple people did at the label. So when you're kind of working with that, it's kind of an uphill battle. Now as where we're at Ferret, I feel that it's a much different vibe, you know, it's more of a friendship vibe. We've known those guys for years. We toured with Nora, which is the owner's, his band. So it's a little bit different, you know. They're not really looking for the right haircut and the right belt and the right look, you know, so to speak. And I'm not saying that that's what Roadrunner is all about, but you know, there's not much of an image to our band, and maybe we're not the flashiest band. So I think it's better for us to be in a place that more just understands that about the lifestyle for us, our band. And it seems like it's a much better home for us.
Right, so you guys are happy with Ferret?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys have been around since '94. Now, it didn't get signed until 2000. For a lot of local bands that are out there that are struggling, you know, and they haven't gotten, you know, signed, and they're ready to throw in a towel, you know, like, what advice would you give them guys out there?
Throw in the towel.
Just give it up.
No, you know, man, I think even now it's even more difficult to get signed because of the whole downloading process, and labels are you know, probably a little leery of that. So, you know, basically it's if it's your dream, man, follow it till the very end. I think that's the way I've tried to live my life the entire time. And but a lot of this thing, like anything, is who you know, and if you can get somebody that has their foot in the door, that's obviously it helps. But basically, just try and create something honestly and pursue it. You know, I don't think that there's any time to give up, really. You know, unless you just. I mean, there's obviously reasons to do things and to not do things, but for me personally, you know, if it's something that you think is tangible, I think you should, you know, strive for it. And that's the advice I would give, I guess.
Right. And you actually guys, before you guys got signed to Roadrunner, before you guys were on a label, you actually put out albums of your own.
Right.
How difficult was it, you know, before you got signed, you know, with the help of label companies, how difficult was it to do it on your own?
Well, I don't think it was all that difficult, just because we were living in Anchorage then, and it's a small music scene, so, you know, you go to the local studio and then you put out your little 5-song EP or whatever, and then you play your shows on the weekends where a few hundred kids will show up and you sell them. So getting them out there was easier, as opposed to probably a band that lives in Los Angeles or Cleveland, Ohio, for that matter. I think that it's, for us, our scene was a lot smaller, so it's probably a little bit easier for us to get our name around our town, because there's a small scene and there's not a ton of bands and not a ton of places to play. A pretty close-knit, loyal, supportive community of music fans there. So it's like anything, we didn't know any better, so we just did what we could. And I think the first tape that we put out was a tape back then. We made like 300 of them. That was it, and we gave them all away at the first, like the tape release party. And so, I mean, we didn't really care much about selling stuff back then. We didn't really realize how to go about all that stuff. So it's been a continuous learning process, I think, for the band, business-wise.
Right. That's awesome, man. Now, we have two questions that we always ask everyone.
Okay.
First question is which of the following have you ever experienced? Have you seen the face of God? Have you had an alien encounter? Or have you seen a ghost?
Well, I really haven't seen the face of God. I haven't seen the aliens.
Out in the crowd, maybe.
I think maybe I thought I saw something kind of crazy one time. But ghosts, we used to live in the house together for like 7 years in Oregon, and there was definitely something going on in the house. So it was like everybody would always like talk about certain things, and we also found like downstairs in the basement there was like this kind of air duct like that, and up above it in this old white, it was a rusty switchblade, and this wrapped up in this cloth.
Oh yeah.
And we don't know, like we all took it like, well, that was like a murder weapon or something, and but there was like lots of like yellow beams that I would see, like if we were talking, I'd see like a beam sometimes. But I never really saw anything concrete. I guess I'm somewhat of a skeptic on all of that stuff. But anyway, I guess I've seen a little bit of ghost stuff.
Anywho, second question we have is what would surprise people the most to either learn about you or 36 Crazyfists?
Boy.
That's always a tough question.
Yeah, that is a tough question. Man, we try to be so regular that I think most people know most about us that are interested in this in the first place. But they probably didn't know that drummer Thomas was the first kid in our town to be a sponsored pro skateboarder.
Oh yeah.
So
that's sweet.
So yeah, that was probably a lot of people don't know that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I might not have touched base on, that you want the fans out there to know about you guys?
Not really, just thanks if anybody's supported our band in any way. May 27th, The Tide and Its Takers comes out, and you can check us out at myspace.com/36 Crazyfists for tour dates. We'll be on the Mayhem Festival this summer with Slipknot and Walls of Jericho, Machine Head, tons of other bands. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks.
How do you feel about the Rockstar Mayhem tour, coming up with Slipknot, Machine Head?
Yeah, I'm extremely thankful to be a part of it. We've never done an American festival before, so it's nice to finally get the nod and get accepted into one. We're pretty happy about it, and like I said, this is kind of a new start for us being at Ferret and having a new record coming out, having the first American festival. So everything seems to be coming around pretty good for us right now. So I'm real excited about it.
Now, lastly, after this tour with Rockstar Mayhem, what do you guys have planned doing next?
We are doing Rockstar Mayhem. We'll be going back to Europe. We go to Europe for all the festivals in June, come back, do the Rockstar Mayhem Festival, and then go back to Europe, Japan, Australia, and do some more of that. And then we'll be touring all the way up until Christmas, I'm sure, and maybe possibly into the new year a little as well. We'll just have to see how the record goes, I guess.
Right. Well, hey, Brock, man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
36 Crazyfists. Appreciate it, man. Last one I got for you, can you do like a station ID? Sure. Like, this is Brock from 36 Crazyfists, and you're watching punktv.ca.
punktv.ca. Ready?
Go for it.
Hey, what's up? This is Brock from 36 Crazyfists. You're watching punktv.ca.
Sweet.